Hello and good day again everybody. So welcome again to Hydraulics, and for today's video lecture we would now be discussing about the fundamentals of fluid flow, specifically about Bernoulli's energy theorem. Okay, so before we start with the discussion about the energy itself and the forms of energy in Bernoulli's energy theorem, we must first take into consideration this very important formula here, which is for discharge. So Q, or the discharge Q, is basically equal to A times V, where A is the cross-sectional area of flow and V is now the velocity of flow. So for you to understand this better, para mas maalala nyo, and kahit napakadali naman pong i-memorize, so for the Q, for A and V, I should say, suppose that you have a certain water pipe. Kunwari ito po yung water pipe nyo. And of course, if that is a water pipe, water flows in here. So for the velocity V, that is how fast the water is traveling towards this direction. So, papunta po dito yung tubig, and kung gaano po kabilis yan, that is our velocity V. And for A, so, ang A naman po natin is this cross-sectional area here. So, yung opening po ng pipe. So, if you would now be, let's say, multiplying. So, if you multiply nyo po yung cross-sectional area dito, so let's say that this is now A, and this is now to be in terms of meters per second. And for V, since linear po yan, meters per second po yan, if you would be multiplying meters squared and meters per second, magiging volume na po yung dimension natin. So 3 dimensions na po siya. And volume per second, so yun po, ang implication po niya kung gaano kadaming tubig or fluid yung nagpapas dyan po sa tubo na yan. So that is the implication for our discharge. So as you can see, if you would be multiplying both of this, it is called as the volume flow rate. And once again, yan po yung nagsasabi kung gaano kadaming tubig po yung nagpapas dyan sa tubo. And we also have this form of discharge which we call weight flow rate. So when we say weight flow rate, yan po yung gaano kabigat naman po ng fluid yung nagpapas doon po sa particular na tubong yun. And for the mass flow rate, that is very similar to the weight flow rate. It's just that instead of weight in terms of newtons, you would now be considering mass, that is in terms of kilograms. Okay, so there. Okay, so we would now be discussing about the forms of energy used in Bernoulli's energy theorem. So we have the velocity head, the pressure head, and the elevation head. So these three are the factors that are directly connected with flow in terms of the energy theorem. And for us to discuss about it better, let's take it this way. So suppose that you have a tank. So one of the many reasons why the tank is elevated here is because that, for example, that you have let's say, a faucet here. Kunwari, merong faucet sa part na to. Kapag bubuksan mo yung faucet na yan, na nakakonect po dito sa tangking yan, of course, water would come out. So, water would come out if, let's say, that the faucet is located here. So, not considering pressure, not considering velocity, alam natin na lalabas yan kasi mas mataas ito. So, that is in layman's term, or let's say a more common sense way. And let's say, for example, that in this tank, kunwari yung gripo mo nandito sa taas. So, nandito po sa taas yung gripo mo. So, without pressure, alam po natin hindi po lalabas yung tubig dyan. Kasi, mas mataas na yung gripo natin kaysa sa mismong tangke. Okay, so in another sense, so for example, you have a tube. Kunwari, meron po kayong tubo. Kapag ganyan po yung tubo nyo, and meron po tayong water dito, alam po natin na lalabas po yung tubig dito. Kasi of course, yung tubig po natin would flow this way. But for example, that let's say you have your water here, and you have your pipe here. So ito po kunwari yung pipe natin, papunta dyan sa taas. So without the presence of pressure, without the presence of anything, alam natin hindi po lalabas yung tubig dito. So, siguro yung tubig natin hanggang dito lang sa part na to. So, ayun po. So, the reason here why water would now come out here without any pressure is because of there is na potential energy kasi mas mataas to. So potential energy yung nagkukos kung bakit lumalabas yung tubig dito. So ganyan. And in here, so is there a way in order for us to let the fluid come out here? So meron po. So the way on how we would be forcing this fluid to come out here is by introducing pressure. So for example, no, meron nga kayong fluid na nandito. So meron kayong fluid na nandito. Ngayon, try to push it or try to blow it here. So mag-apply po tayo ng pressure. So if you would now be blowing this part of the tube, of course, water would now come out here because it would be pushed by pressure. So yun po, that is one way. And another way is by making this water faster. So kapag mas mabilis po yung flow ng tubig, kumbaga nagkaroon po siya ng kinetic energy or nakabuelo siya, edi there is now a possibility that this water would come out. Okay, so once again, a while ago, I have said here that if, let's say, our faucet is located above here, hindi po lalabas yung tubig, kunwari yan po yung tubo. So let's say that that is now the pipe. Water would not come out here if there is no pressure. So kapag maglalagay po tayo ng pressure, so if we would be introducing a pressure here, in order for, let's say, in order for this fluid to come out here, there is now a possibility. Or let's say that if we would now be adding another kinetic energy. So yun po yung principle natin sa Bernoulli's energy theorem. And once again, we have three forms of energy. So we have the velocity head. So this is accounted for the kinetic energy. We also have the elevation head. This is accounted for the potential energy. And we have the pressure head. So yan po yung pressure energy natin. So pressure. Yan na po mismo yan. And yun po mismo yung explanation natin dito on how this water would now come out this location. So meron po tayong tinatawag na potential energy, and that is po yung height natin. And meron din po tayong tinatawag na velocity. So kapag lalagay ko ng ngalan dito. So we have the height, Z. So yung elevation po natin, ba't ayaw? So elevation. So yung elevation, kapag mas mataas yan, nagpe-play siya ng factor sa paglabas po ng tubig wherever the location is. And another thing that we should take also into consideration is the velocity. So kung gaano po kabilis, syempre kapag mas mabilis po yung tubig, mas nakapag-form po siya ng kinetic energy. And we also have the pressure. So this four would now be taken into consideration in the flow. Okay, so now going back here, if you would now be adding all of this, that is what you would be calling the total energy. So itong mga energy po na ito, these are in terms of meters. So these are in terms of meters po. So meters, and ayon, so if you would be adding all of this, yung total energy po nila is in terms of meters. So ito po yung total energy. Okay, so in another aspect, sabi po ni Bernoulli, in a theoretical equation of energy, there must be no head loss. So theoretical equation of energy is that the energy at one side or at one point is also equal to the energy of another point. So suppose that this is once again, kunwari erase ko muna yan. So dito yung tubo natin bumaba dito, tapos lumabas dito yung, let's say, yung gripo. So yan na po yung gripo. Ang sinasabi po dito, let's say that if you would be comparing the energy here, so let's say that this is now energy 1, and yung energy dito, in a theoretical standpoint, their energies must be equal. So dapat magiging equal po yung energy nila. So for example, meron po kayo ditong velocity head. So let's say that is v squared over 2g. Ito velocity head po yan. Plus, kunwari, malamang meron pong height dito. So meron po siyang certain elevation about a certain point. So that is now z. yung elevation. Then, kunwari, meron din po siyang pressure. So, meron pa po tayong pressure sa tangking to. And that is now P1 over gamma. So, ito po, ulitin ko lang. Ito pong mga to yung mga formula natin. So, pressure over gamma, tapos V squared over 2G, then Z. So, lahat ng to, so this is for velocity 1, this is for Z1, and this is for P1. And all of this should be equal to the sum of the energies at the second point. So, to Z2 naman, tapos dito P2 over omega. So, this is theoretically. So, theoretical. So, theoretical po yan. And yan po yung parang kumbaga ideal. So, that is now the ideal equation. However, due to some losses, so for example, that the pipe used here has a friction, minsan, nababawasan po yung energy niya. Kasi, kumbaga, isipin mo yung tubig na dumadaloy sa pipe, para nagkakaroon siya ng friction and nagkakaroon po tayo ng resistance. So, if we would be having a certain resistance, we are now having some head losses. So, ito po yung theoretical, yung pinakita ko. But in actual scenarios, yung totoo pong nangyayari, nagkakaroon po tayo ng head loss. So, yung head loss po na yan, nagkakaroon lang po tayo ng HL sa equation. So, same old, yan pa rin po yung equation natin. It is just that we would be having a head loss here. So, considering this equation once again, iurong ko lang po ito. So, i-delete ko na po itong theoretical dito. Okay, so, in actual scenarios, once again, nagkakaroon po tayo ng kagaspangan or yun ng head loss dito due to some factors such as, once again, friction. And kapag nababawasan po siya, ibig sabihin yung itong side ng equation natin na to, nababawasan yan. I mean, itong, let's say, from this point, the energy at this particular point would now be decreased once that it would now reach this point here. So, pag dumaloy po siya dito sa tubong to, nababawasan yung energy niya. Kaya nagkakaroon po tayo ng head loss. So, minus the head loss. And itong head loss na to, these are accounted to some of the formulas like Darcy-Weisbach formula, Manning's formula, depende po sa equation. But we would be discussing about those in the next video lectures to follow. So, dito mag-focus po muna tayo sa Bernoulli's energy theorem, which is basically this. So, we have yung energy 1, pag binawasan mo po siya ng head loss, yun na po yung energy ng pangalawa. So, kung ayaw mo po ng ganitong formula, so, sa mga reviewers, ganito po yung formula niya. Pina-plus yung HL or yung head loss doon po sa second equation. However, if you would be asking me, I like it this way kasi ganito naman talaga yung nangyayari. So, yung energy ng 1, nababawasan siya, kaya natitira na lang yung energy ng 2. So, ganun. Okay, so also, in fluid flow, there are also what which we would be calling pumps and turbines. So, ano po ba yung pumps and turbines? So, yung pumps and turbines natin is nagdadagdag pati nagbabawas ng energy. So, for example na naman, ito naman favorite example natin. Copy-paste ko na nga lang to sa next slide. So, ito. For example, nandito. Let's say, nandito nga yung gusto mong supplyan ng tubig. So, and for example, no, hindi ka makapaglagay ng pressure dyan. Hindi ka makapaglagay po ng pressure sa taas. Or let's say, naglagay ka ng pressure sa taas, pero kulang. Pero gusto mo nga siya makaabot dito. So with that, for our pipe, so bababa po yung pipe natin dito, pupunta dito. Then, balak po natin siyang paakyatin dito. So, balak po natin yung paakyatin yan. And the way, kunwari ayaw pong umabot dito yung energy. One way on how we would be able to force water to reach this location is by introducing a pump. So, may pump po tayo dito. So, yung pump na yan, pinapataas, nagdadagdag po yan ng energy. So, pumps adds energy para umabot doon. So, what about for turbine? So, for turbine naman, yun, nagde-decrease po ng energy. So, bakit? Bakit po natin dinidecrease yung energy? So, one of the many reasons once again. So, for example naman, yung dito yung linalagay nating tawag dito. Dito yung sinusupplyan natin. So, for example, ito na nga po yung ito na nga po yung pipe natin. So, let's say that this is now the pipe. And as you can see, guys, ang taas nito masyado, ang laki siguro ng pressure niya, napakabilis, na kapag lumabas dito, napakalakas. So, let's say that the energy grade line or the energy line, so kung nanggaling po siya dito, yung energy line niya siguro nandito, hanggang dito lang. So, let's say that this is now the energy grade line. So, ibig sabihin, on a theoretical basis, parang nandito yung yung total energy. So, ito yung total energy na nandito sa point na to. And as you can see, masyadong malayo. And kapag lumabas yung tubig dito, sobrang lakas. Or baka nakakasira pa yan ng mga faucets and whatnot. And with that, we will now be introducing a turbine here. So, turbine, in order for the energy to be decreased. So, pag maglalagay po tayo ng turbine dito, what happens is that, yun, bababa yung energy dito up until where you like. So, depende po sa binili yung turbine. Para nandito na lang po yung energy niyan. Okay, so that is how turbines work. And once again, so hindi ko po na-drawing kanina yung parang representation ng pump. So let's say that this is once again our pump. Ay, teka, meron ba tayo dito? Wala pala. So let's say that this is now our tank and you want to supply this. Wala pong lalabas dyan, no? Kapag kunwari ito yung tubo nyo. Ito yung tubo natin kunwari papunta dito sa location na to. And let's say that the energy grade line, so energy grade line, off this point. So, ipag-add nyo, sorry, nabubulol. Ipag-add nyo itong part ng elevation. So, elevation, so ito yung elevation natin. Kunwari, dumagdag ka ng velocity, tapos dumagdag ka ng pressure head, nandito na po. Let's say, kunwari nandito na yung, let's say, yung energy this point. So, ito. Energy yan. Ayan. So, kunwari ito yung pressure head. So, kunwari ito yung P over omega. Ito naman yung velocity head na V squared over 2G. Tapos, ito naman yung value ng Z or yung elevation. So, yun yung elevation. Pero, nagkakaroon po tayo ng head loss. Kunwari, yung head loss natin napunta dito, no? So, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng head loss na napunta dyan, as you can see, it is now below this part. So, ibig sabihin walang tubig na aabot dito. So, in other words, hanggang dito lang po talaga yung tubig. Hanggang dyan po sa part na yan yung tubig lang, di aabot dito. Okay, so if you want it to be reached here, we will now be adding a pump. So, kapag nandito na po yung pump na nag-a-add po ng energy, what happens is that, so, kunwari meron po tayong head loss na hanggang dito. Tapos, may pump tayo sa location na to, tataas siya. Tapos saka bababa. So this is now the use of the pump. Okay, so now going back here, ano pa ba hindi ko pa ba na-discuss? So for the power, so kapag bibili kayo ng pumps, they are in terms of watts, kilowatts, horsepowers. And for horsepower, that is basically equal to the flow rate or Q, na isa-solve nyo po dito, times the unit weight of that fluid, times the energy. So, yun po yung power natin. And if you would be if you would be multiplying all of these values, you would now arrive at a value in terms of watts. So, watts po yung magiging sagot nito. And if you want to convert watts into horsepower, take note that for every 1 horsepower, that is equal to 746 watts. So, medyo naputol po yung aking... Ayan. So, ito po, 746 watts. Okay. So, meron din po tayong tinatawag na hydraulic grade line and energy grade line. So, for a hydraulic grade line, this is the graphical representation of the total potential energy of flow. Bakit of flow to? Of flow. And for energy grade line, so total energy. So, yung pinagkaiba po ng hydraulic grade line and energy grade line, dito po sa hydraulic grade line, ang i-add mo lang po dyan is yung pressure head na P over gamma, tapos yung elevation Z. Tapos po yung energy grade line, kailangan mo pong idagdag dito yung velocity head. So yung pinaka-difference lang po ng hydraulic grade line sa energy grade line is itong velocity head. Okay, so going back here, so ito po yung tinatawag po nating energy grade line. So ito po yung energy grade line, no? So ngayon, kapag ibabawas po natin yung V squared over 2G, ito naman po yung hydraulic grade line. So ito po yung maging hydraulic grade line. So naibawas siya kumbaga. So ayan. So ito na yung hydraulic grade line. So sinabi din po dito that for uniform pipe cross-section, HGL is parallel to the EGL. So, ibig sabihin po, kapag yung tubo po na to, so for example, that in this pipe, same po siya ng, tawag dito, ng diameter or ng size throughout, magiging parallel siya like this. So, ganito po. Pero, isipin nyo guys, na kunwari yung pipe nyo is lumiliit. And if yung pipe nyo po lumiliit, so kapag mas maliit po yung butas, mas mabilis yung tubig kasi parang kumbaga nakakompress siya. So, ayun. And isipin nyo kapag mas malaki, medyo less pressure siya and the like. So, yun na lang. Basta pag nagva-vary po, pag nagva-vary yung, let's say, what you call this? Kapag nagva-vary po yung mismong tubo natin, nag-iiba po yung velocity and yung pressure head dito is nag-iiba. So, isipin nyo, tatanggalin nyo tong part na to. So, bababa po siya by this much. So, para mas maganda atang ganito na lang representation natin. So, this is V squared over 2G. This is P. Kasasabi lang. So, let's say that this is V squared over 2G. And this is P over gamma. Okay, so, ayan. So, kapag yung pipe po natin, nag-iiba po siya ng, let's say, direction or direction tuloy ng diameter, nag-iiba yung V. Kaya minsan yung hydraulic grade line natin naging ganito itsura. Parang hindi siya parallel kumbaga. Okay, so anyway, so let us now proceed with the problem solving part. Okay, so for our first problem, a liquid with a specific gravity of 0.84 is flowing in a 250 mm diameter pipe at 3.1 meter per second, or 3.1 meters per second. So what is the discharge? So easy peasy. So for A, ang required po dyan is the discharge. And we know that for discharge, that is basically equal to the cross-sectional area times the velocity. So with that, Q is now equal to what is the cross-sectional area here. So sinabi po dito na yung diameter po ng pipe is 250 mm. And we must convert it into meters first for the consistency of units. So 0.25. So, yun po yung diameter niya. And for the area of a circle or a circular pipe, that is pi over 4 times the diameter squared. So, 0.25 meters squared. So, that is now the area. And as for the velocity, this is now equal to 3.1 meters per second. So, as you can see, meters squared to, meters to. So, magiging unit niya is cubic meters per second. So, with that, looking at the calculator to your left, so, pi over 4 times 0.25 squared times 3.1. So, ang maging answer po natin dito is 0.15217. So, 17 meters cube per second. So, yan na po. Nakaisa na po tayo. Mga 50 na lang po na ganyan. Top notcher na kayo. Okay, so ayan. So, what is now letter B? So, ang tanong po dito, what is the flow rate at MGD? So, ano po yung MGD? When we say MGD, that signifies or that indicates million gallons per day. So, million gallons per day po yung unit dyan. Okay, so with that, since you already have the flow rate here, so yung Q po natin, that is equal to 0.15217 cubic meters per second. So what we would be doing is that we would now be converting these units in terms of million gallons per day. So hindi ko po alam kung ano po yung direct natin na formula dyan, ang alam ko lang is wala akong pake. Kasi hindi ko naman po kailangang i-memorize. Pwede naman po nating i-step by step para na hindi magulo yung utak nyo mag-memorize naman ng bagong conversion factor na malamang sa malamang hindi pa rin lalabas sa board exam. So napakaliit po ng percentage ng probability, I should say, na lalabas to. Pero baka sakali lang, no? Kapag yung baka sakali na yun, hindi mas magandang i-mano-mano nyo na para hindi nyo na magdagdagan yung minimemorize nyo yung conversion factor. So anyway, so gawin po muna natin gallons. So gallons po. Okay, so for gallons, so ilang gallons po ba sa isang cubic meters? Hindi ko din alam. Ang alam ko lang is that, oops, pangit naman nun, is that for every 1 cubic meter, meron po tayong 1,000 liters. Yun yung alam ko. And ngayon, alam ko naman that for every 1 gallon, meron po tayong 3.79 liters. So yung conversion factor natin. And with that, if you would be multiplying it by these conversion factors, or conversion fractions, meters cubed would cancel out, liters would cancel out, leaving us a unit in terms of gallons. So yun, gallons per second na, and yun, conversion factor ulit. So for every, ano ba lalagay natin dito sa baba? So it is either minutes or hours lalagay natin dito. Pero alam ko naman po yung conversion factor ng hour pati seconds, that for every 1 hour, meron po tayong 3,600 seconds. So, ayan. And, ayun, kung ayaw nyo pong maniwala dyan, subukan nyo po guys. Magbilang kayo ng 1 hour. Magkakaroon kayo ng 3,600 seconds. Balitaan nyo ako pag ginawa nyo na yun. No? So, ayan. Magbilang lang kayo ng 1 oras. 3,600 seconds yan. Pero ang gusto nga natin is million gallons per day. So, ayun, alam ko din, since itong seconds na to magka-cancel out na to, and hours na yung, sorry, nabubulol talaga, hours na yung mismong unit natin, I know that for every 1 day, so per day nga kasi yung goal natin, there are 24 hours. So, hours would now cancel out, leaving us a unit of, so kung ano man yung answer dyan, that is now in terms of gallons per day. Okay, so for gallons per day, so 0.15217 times 1,000 divided by 3.79 times 3,600 times 24. So our answer here is 34. Teka, move ko lang to sandali. So 346,899,4.195 gallons per day. Yan na po ba yung sagot? Hindi pa po. Kasi ang tinatanong niya is million gallons per day. So for us to convert this into million gallons per day, multiply ulit natin siya sa conversion factor. That for, ang gusto nga natin dito is magiging million gallons per day siya. And yun, ilang gallons per day ba sa isang million gallons per day? So 1 million. So yan. So with that, just divide this by 1 million. Leaving us an answer of 3.47. So 3.47 mgd. So basic. So 3.47 mgd. Okay, so what is the weight flux in kilonewtons per second? So when we say weight flux, this is basically the weight flow rate. So kilonewtons per second. So ang alam po natin dito is that for our Q, that is, or the flow rate, or the volumetric flow rate, that is equal to 0.15217 cubic meters per second. So now, how can we convert this into kilonewtons per second? Okay, so take note here. So take note that for every 1 cubic meter, meron siyang katumbas na weight. So may kailangan ka pong i-multiply dito para malaman mo kung ano po yung timbang ng particular na fluid na yan. And in here, it is said here that the specific gravity of that fluid is equal to 0.84. So ngayon, ang gagawin lang po natin in order for us to get the weight, that is basically equal to the unit weight times the volume. And with that, the unit weight, so since this is not water, we must multiply the unit weight of water by the specific gravity, or SG times unit weight times volume. And with that, guys, using this equation here or this value here, so Q is equal to 0.15217 cubic meters per second. So ito volume po yan. Volume to. Just multiply this by the specific gravity, and ang specific gravity po natin is 0.84. 0.84. And then unit weight of water of 9.81. So this must be unit weight of water. Kasi itong dalawang to, pag pinagsama mo yan, yan na po yung unit weight ng fluid. And then, ayun. So ito na po yung multiply natin. And with that, our value for the weight flux is now equal to, so 0.15217 times 0.84 times 9.81. Answer po natin dyan is 1.25 kilonewtons per second. So that is for our first problem solving problem. Okay, so for our next problem, water is flowing in an open channel at depth of 2 meters and a velocity of 3 meters per second. It flows down a chute into another channel where the depth is 1 meter and the velocity is 10 meters per second. Neglecting friction, determine the difference in elevation between the channel floors. Okay, so as said here, water is flowing in an open channel. So open channel po, hindi pa po natin napapag-discussan yan. And ayun, siguro if ma-discuss ko na yung open channel first, and if you would be reading this problem, baka gumamit po kayo ng open channel. However, it is not really needed in this problem because we are just determining the elevation of the channel floors. Okay, so i-drawing ko po muna kung ano po yung magiging itsura niya. So at this point, bababa po siya. So bababa po siya dito. Kunwari ito po yung unang point, sorry. Then bababa siya dito. Then, ayun. So, ito na po yung flow. However, in the first one, ang sabi po dito, nagkaroon daw po siya ng depth na 2 meters. So, ito naman po yung mismong land niya or yung mismong kung saan po siya nag-flow. So, ito. Sorry. So, ito po. Tapos, ganyan. And it is said here in the problem that the height or the depth at the first point, so, kunwari po, ito po yung point 1 natin, sorry. And this is now our point 2. Yung depth daw po dun sa una is equal to 2 meters. So this is now 2 meters. And the depth at the second one, this is now 1 meter. Okay, and it is also said in the problem that the velocity at the first one, so V1 is equal to 3 meters per second, and that V2 is equal to 10 meters per second. So, neglecting friction, so ibig sabihin wala po tayong head loss dito. Determine the difference in elevation of the channel floors. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, that for Bernoulli's energy theorem, we must equate it in this manner, whereas, as you can see, whereas the energy of the first point is equal to the energy of the second point if wala po tayong head loss. So if may head loss, maglalagay lang po kayo ng head loss sa equation. However, in our problem here, wala nga po tayong head loss because we would now be neglecting friction. Okay, so yung equation po natin, so energy 1, that must be equal to the energy 2. So we would be considering this point and this point. Okay, so ito, so let's say that for this particular equation, maglagay po tayo ng, let's say, base reference point. So, kunwari ito po yung base reference point. And let's say that this height here, ito po yung, let's say, Z1 natin. So, elevation 1. Or let's say, height 1 na lang. Height 1. And this is now height 2. So, ito po yung height 2 or yung elevation 2 natin. Okay, so considering that, no, we will now be substituting known equations here. So, dapat po meron tayong velocity head. We must also have the pressure head. Teka, lakihan ko nga lang yung pen ko sandali para mas madaling magsulat. So, velocity squared divided by 2g. This is the velocity head. Add the pressure head. And we will also add the elevation. So, yung elevation po na iti-take natin into consideration is not this one here. It must be this. So, ito po kasi yung tinitake natin into consideration. So, plus Z1 po yan, no? Pero yung Z1 natin, that must be 2 meters plus H1. Okay, so this now equal to, so V2 squared divided by 2G plus pressure 2 over gamma plus Z2. But take note that for Z2, hindi lang po siya itong H2, dapat po itong buo yan. Okay, so substituting known values. So for the first one here, ang velocity daw po niya is 3 meters per second. So 3 meters per second, so squared. Divide this by twice the gravity. Plus, what is the pressure head here? So, ano po yung pressure dito? Wala naman pong sinabi. So, actually, kakancel na po natin to. But in a theoretical standpoint, actually, meron to po tong pressure na atmospheric pressure. So, siguro yung atmospheric pressure is 101.325 kilopascal. If that is the case, pwede nyo sigurong ilagay dito. However, magkaparehas din lang naman itong pressure ng 1 at pressure ng 2 if and only if atmospheric pressure silang pareho. And if that is the case, magka-cancel out din lang sila. And thus, wag na po natin isama. Okay, so in other words, para di po kayo malito, kapag wala pong binigay na pressure, wag nyo na lang pong isama. So, yan. So, plus Z1, and once again, Z1 is the elevation from your reference point up until this point. So, that is 2 meters plus H1. So, 2 meters plus H1. So, this now equal to, so V2 squared. So, what is the velocity at the second point? That is 10 meters per second. Squared divided by 2, 9.81. Plus, wala na naman po tayong pressure sa pangalawa. And for Z2, that is equal to 1 meter plus H2. So, 1 meter plus H2. So, what I will be doing is that I will be collecting all of the unknowns on the left and all of the known values to the right. So, with that, so this now equal to, so ilipat po natin itong H2 sa kabila. So, that is now H1 minus H2. So, ito, H1 pati H2 na lang po natira sa left. Then, this is equal to, so 10 meters per second squared divided by 2 times 9.81 minus 3 meters per second squared divided by 2 times 9.81 plus 1 minus 2. So, ayan. And H1 minus H2 is now equal to, looking at the calculator to your left, so 10 squared, so yung squared dito, divided by 2 divided by 9.81 minus 3 squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81 plus 1 minus 2. So, H1 minus H2 is equal to 3.638 meters. So, ano po ba yung tinatanong? So, we are solving for here the difference in elevation of the floors. So, if this is now H1 and this is now H2, if you would be subtracting them, that is now the difference of their elevations. And with that, we can now conclude that this is our answer for this particular problem. So, ganun lang po kadali. Okay, so for our next problem, a 300 mm diameter pipe, 920 meters long, supplies water at a velocity of 2.5 meters per second and the pressure of 565 kilopascal. So we would now be calculating the total energy in meters of water. We would be calculating the slope of energy line if the head loss is 45 times the velocity head. and estimate the population that can be served assuming a per capita consumption of 150 liters per day. Okay, so madali lang po to actually. So in here, for letter A, calculate the total energy. So energy po. So that is basically equal to all of the heads. So the velocity head, the pressure head, and of course the elevation. So in here, so for the total energy of water, I mean in meters of water, that is now equal to what is the velocity head. So yung velocity head natin, so that is equal to v squared over 2g. So 2.5 meters per second squared divided by twice 9.81 meters per second squared plus the pressure head. So our pressure here is 565 kilopascal. So 565 kilopascal. So as you can see, this is in terms of kilopascal. Do we still need to convert this into Pascal? So actually, hindi na po, as long as the unit weight that you will be using is in terms of kilonewtons per cubic meter. So kapag i-convert nyo po to ng Pascal or pag naka-Pascal po yan, dapat yung unit weight na gagamitin nyo is 9810 newtons per cubic meter. So, yun, dapat memoryado nyo yung mga units nyo. Okay, so plus the elevation. So, may sinabi po bang elevation? Wala. So, plus 0. So, with that, the total energy here is now equal to, so looking at the camera, 2.5 squared. So, 2.5 squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81 plus 565 divided by 9.81. Our answer here is 57.91 meters. So, yan po yung total energy natin for letter A. So, this is now 57.91 meters. Okay, so erase ko na po to. Yan na po yan. So, next, we would now be calculating the slope of the energy line if the head loss is 45 times the velocity head. Okay, so in here, so suppose na ito po yung pipe natin, no? So, let's say that this is now our pipe na 920 meters long. So, 920 meters daw po yung haba niyan. So, once again, that is now 920. But, ano dyan dinalagay? So, this now 920 meters. Okay, so, in here, ang sabi po natin dito, that the total energy is 57.91. So, ibig sabihin at this point, yung pinakauna po, that is now 57.91 meters. Okay, so at some point, so pagdating po dito sa part na to, nagkaroon po tayo ng head loss. So, nagkaroon po tayo ng head loss and thus our EGL or our energy grade line. So, energy line po to, nag-slope na po yan ng pababa. So, ulitin ko lang, supposedly, dapat horizontal lang po yan if horizontal din po yung pipe natin. However, nagkaroon po tayo ng head loss. So, yung head loss po natin dito is ito, yung binaba niya kumbaga. So, ito na yung head loss. So, this is now the head loss. So, yan po yung head loss, kaya po naging slope yan, naging slanting yan. And now, we would now be solving for the slope of this particular EGL. So, for the slope, madali lang naman po yan. Parang basic triangle pa rin. We would just be getting the change in X and the change in horizontal. So, change in Y, then change in X. So, kapag kumukuha po tayo ng slope, that is equal to, so slope is equal to Y over X or delta Y over delta X. And in this case, so for our slope, so slope, that is now equal to, so ito po, itong triangle na to, kunin mo po yung slope ng triangle na ito. And yung HL niya, so that is HL divided by the length. So ito na po, i-memorize nyo na po to. HL over L. And substituting known values, so alam po ba natin yung HL? Actually, hindi pa po. Pero sinabi po sa problem that head loss is 45 times the velocity head. So with that, head loss is equal to 45 times the velocity head, v squared over 2g. So this now equal to 45 times v squared. Anong v squared natin? 2.5 squared divided by 2 times 9.81, and our answer here is now equal to, so 45 times 2.5 squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81. So ang answer po natin dito is 14.3349 meters, or shift store ko na lang po siya sa A. So shift store A. So nasa A na po siya. Okay, so for our slope now, that is equal to 14.399 meters. 3349, sorry. So ulitin ko lang, this is nasa A divided by the total length of 920. So ganon, alpha A, so looking at the calculator, that is alpha A divided by 920. So our answer here is now equal to 0.1558. So this is unitless kasi slope po yan. So there. Okay, so that is for B. So 0.01558. Okay, so next up, what is, we would now be estimating the population that can be served, assuming a per capita consumption of 150 liters per day. Okay, so with that, yung Q po natin. So ang requirement po natin is that kada isang tao daw, or yun, per capita, 150 liters daw yung tawag dito, 150 liters per day daw. Sorry. Yung tinitake niya. Ngayon, check po natin kung ilang tao, kung ilang 150 liters per day yung masaserve niya. So with that, we will be solving for the flow rate of this. So sinabi naman po, meron po siyang diameter na 300 mm and meron din po siyang velocity na 2.5. And Q is once again equal to AV. So Q is equal to AV. Then for A, 300 mm po yung diameter niya. So with that, so pi over 4, since bilog po yan, times 300 mm, and we must multiply this. We must use meters as our unit, times the velocity of 2.5 meters per second. So 2.5 meters per second. So with that, this is now equal to, so pi over 4 times 0.3 squared times 2.5. So ang tawag dito, ang Q natin ngayon is 0.1767 cubic meters per second. Now let us convert this into liters per day. So convert po natin to into liters per day, no? So ayon, alam ko na po na kada 1 cubic meter, meron po tayong 1,000 liters. And ayun, cubic meters would now cancel out, leaving us with a unit of liters per second. Multiplied by, so we must convert this into hours. So, I should say into days. Days ba to? O days pala. So, this now equal to, so for every, di ko alam kung ilang segundo sa isang araw, hindi ko nabilang. Pero I know that for every 1 hour, we have 36,000 seconds. And for every 1 day, meron din po tayong 24 hours. So with that, maging answer na po natin dito is, looking at the calculator to your left, so the answer, which is 0.1767 times 1,000 times 3,600 times 24, so that is now equal to 15268 140.3. Okay, so this is now liters per day. Okay, so kung gumagamit po ng 150 liters per day per capita, so in order for us to know the population, so population is equal to, so kunin ko lang po to. So 15268,140.3 liters per day. And I would now be dividing this by 150 liters per day. Sorry. Per day per capita. So this now equal to, so divide ko lang po ito ng 150. So ang answer po natin dito is meron pong 101,787 na tao, tapos isang manalanggal kasi may 0.6 pa po tayo. So that is now our population, no, that the flow rate can cater. Okay, so there. Nasaan yung mouse ko? Okay, so next problem, neglecting air resistance. Determine to what height a vertical jet of water could rise if projected with a velocity of 20 meters per second. Okay, as you can see, you can actually solve for this using basic physics or free-falling bodies, no? So ito po, may spoiler na tayo dito. Ang answer daw is 20.4. So kunwari, so meron po tayong approach na una. So first approach. So this is by making use of physics. So free-falling bodies. So FFB. Okay, so ang sinabi po dito, na meron daw po tayong isang vertical jet. So ito po kunwari hose yan. So pangit. So kunwari hose po yan, then yun nakatutok sa taas. So in other words, may tubig po tayo na pataas. Okay, so ano daw po yung height na to? So what is now this particular height? If the initial velocity is 20 meters per second. So using physics, so given a certain distance s, and yung VF dito is 0, malamang kasi mag-stop na siya dyan, we can make use of this equation, whereas VF squared is equal to VI squared plus twice the acceleration times s. Whereas the acceleration is the acceleration due to gravity, which is negative 9.81. So substituting all known values, this is now equal to 0. So this is now equal to 20 meters per second squared plus 2 times. So since gravity is directed vertically downwards, this must be negative 9.81 meters per second squared times s. So s po yung hinanap natin dito. And solving for s, so looking at the calculator, itatranspose ko yung 20 sa kabila. So this is now equal to negative 20 squared divided by 2 divided by negative 9.81. So ang answer po natin dito is, well, yun, 20.387 or 20.4. So yan. So ganyan po kasimple. Pero since nandito na din lang naman po tayo, gumamit po tayo ng iba pang approach. Okay, so the second approach is by making use of potential and kinetic energy. So ganito po kasi, so suppose that this is now the figure. Kapag meron pong movement, may energy pong tinatawag dyan, and the energy for movement is what we would be calling the kinetic energy. Okay, so kapag meron po tayong kinetic energy dito, napataas po yan, at some point, at this particular point, magiging potential energy na po yan. So pag potential energy po, ang kinalaman po niyan is height. So yun, from kinetic energy, magiging potential energy po yan with this particular height. So, ayun. So kinetic energy, that is equal to potential energy. And for kinetic energy, that is 1/2 mv squared. And for potential energy, that is mgh. So yan, i-compare mo lang po yan. So for 1/2 mv squared, so hindi po natin alam yung mass kasi hindi naman po given. However, since meron po tayong mass sa dalawang sides, magka-cancel out lang po yan, leaving you an equation of 1/2 v squared is equal to gh. So, substituting all known values, so 1/2 times the velocity of 20 meters per second squared, this is equal to 9.81 times height. So, solving for height, this is now equal to, so 20 squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81. So, ang answer po natin dito is 20.387 pa rin, which is 20.4 meters. So, yan po yung isa pa pong approach. So, yan, mabibilisan lang naman sila. Okay, so last problem for this video. So, sabi po dito, a liquid having a specific gravity of 2.0 is flowing in a 50 mm diameter pipe. The total head at a given point was found out to be 17.5 joules per Newton. And the elevation of the pipe above the datum is 3 meters and the pressure in the pipe is 65.6 kilopascals. Compute the velocity of flow and the horsepower in the stream at that point. So, ang unknown po natin dito is di natin alam yung velocity. And yun, yung power po in terms of horsepower. Okay, so ang given po natin dito, so given, we have a specific gravity of 2.0, a diameter of 50 mm, so napakaliit, 2 inches lang. And total head, so pag sinabi po natin total head, that is basically the energy. So energy is equal to 17.5 joules per Newton. Then meron din po tayong elevation. So elevation na 3 meters. So ito po yan. And the pressure na 65.6. So pressure is equal to 65.6 kilopascal. So how can we solve for this and this? So as you can see, meron po tayong bagong unit dito. And that is joules per Newton. So ano po ba yung joules? So joules is, so note lang po dito, no? So note, joules is equal to Newton meter. So for every Newton meter, meron pong isang joule. So joules per Newton, so isa pang note dito, joules per Newton is equal to Newton meter per Newton. So kapag joules Newton, basically meter din lang po yan. So as you can see, nag-cancel out. So basically ulit, 17.5 meters lang yan. So that is now the total energy. Okay, if that is now the energy, I have already shown you before that energy is the summation of all of the heads. So for velocity head, so velocity head plus pressure head plus elevation. And as you can see, all of these are known except for velocity, and we can now solve for the velocity there. Okay, so for the velocity, energy. So energy po natin, substituting known values, meron po tayong 17.5 meters na energy. And that is equal to, so yung V squared po natin, unknown yan. So V squared divided by 2 times 9.81 plus what is the pressures, that is 65.6 kilopascal. Divide po natin ng, so hindi lang po dapat 9.81 dito. Kasi yung 9.81, that is just the unit weight of water. However, this is not water kasi specific gravity po niya is 2.0. So, mumultiply nyo po ngayon to ng 2. Then, add Z, and Z po natin is 3 meters. And we can now use shift solve. So, shift solve na lang po tayo para mas mabilis. So, looking at the calculator to your left. So, 17.5 is, oops, sorry, mali. So, 17.5 is equal to alpha x squared divided by 2 divided by 9.81 plus 65.6 divided by 2 divided by 9.81 plus 3. So, shift solve ko na po. So, ang V po natin ngayon is processing. So, kapag ayaw nyo pong mag-process pa po ng ganyan katagal, so, mas maganda pong i-mano-mano nyo na tawag dito, i-derive. So, V is equal to 14.795 meters per second. Or pwedeng ganito, guys. Kunwari, tawag dito, naka-squared kang ganyan. So, kapag naka-square po kasi ganyan, yung mga sinasolve natin, mas matagal po talagang i-compute ni, tawag dito, ni Canon yan. Okay, so ang gagawin po natin is instead of x squared, kunwari nandito, i-assume natin, let us assume that value x is equal to v squared. So, kapag ganyan po, guys, ang gawin nyo na lang dito, instead of x squared, gawin nyo na lang na x lang. But take note na yung x na yan is v squared. So, kapag shift solve ko po yan, so mas mabilis po siya actually, and x is now equal to 218.89. However, v yung hinahanap natin, and v, kapag x is equal to v squared, v is equal to square root of x. So, kapag ganun, kunin mo yung square root nito. So, yun yung answer, which is 14.795. Yun ay kapag natatagalan ka pong mag-shift solve ng may square. So, that is one shortcut in shift solving. So, tapos na po tayo sa unang tanong. So, we now have the velocity of flow. But now, we must solve for the horsepower. So, once again, power is equal to Q times unit weight times energy. Okay, so considering all of this, meron po ba tayong Q? Wala. So, for Q, so Q is equal to area times velocity. So, this now, once again, equal to what is the area of this one. So, meron po tayong diameter na 50 mm. So, kunin po natin yung area ng 50 mm. So, pi over 4 times 50 mm. And 50 mm in terms of meters is 0.05. So, kung ayaw nyo pong maniwala, so 50 divided by 1,000.05 po yan. So, squared times the velocity which we have just solved times 14.795 meters per second. And with that, Q is now equal to, so pi over 40 yun na nakalagay dito. Pi over 4 lang po yan. So, pi, nag-off. So, pi over 4 times 0.05 squared times 14.795. So, our answer here is 0.029. So, ito na po yung Q natin. I-store ko na lang po siya sa C siguro. So, shift store ko sa C. So, shift store C. Okay, so with that, P, so our power P is now equal to, so 0.029 na naka-C times unit weight. So, ang unit weight po natin is 9.81. But take note that for the fluid, meron po siyang specific gravity na 2. So, multiply the unit weight of water by 2 times the energy, and given naman po yung energy dito, and that is 17.5. So, with that, our power is now equal to, so alpha C times 9.81 times 2 times 17.5. So, our power now is now equal to 9.9744 kilowatts. So, bakit kilowatts po? Kasi itong unit weight na ginamit ko dito, naka-kilonewtons per cubic meter yan. So, suppose na instead of 9.81, ang gamitin na lang natin is yung in terms of newtons per meter. So, kapag newtons per meter, 9810 newtons per cubic meter yan. Times, ano na ulit yung multiply pa natin dito. So, times 2, specific gravity, times the energy of 17.5. So, kapag ganyan naman, Ang mangyayari dyan, maging 9,000 plus yan. So, 0.029 times 9810 times 2 times 17.5. So, this is now 9957.15 watts. Okay, so yan po ba yung tinatanong? Teka, check ko nga kung tama. Parang nag-iba yung sagot natin. Ayun, 0.029. Teka, nakasi pala to para mas sakto. To para mas maganda, para mas malapit sa katotohanan yung mismong value natin. So, 9974 pala. So, ginamit ko yung value natin ng C na pinag-shift solvan. Pinag-shift storean ko. 9974.288 watts. Okay, so for our conversion factor, since horsepower po yung hinihingi, as you can see here, horsepower po yung hinihingi. Multiply that by our conversion factor of, for every, so dapat po yung watts nandito sa baba para mag-cancel out yung watts, leaving you a unit of horsepowers. So for every 1 horsepower, meron po tayong 746 watts. And with that, just divide this by 746, leaving us an answer of 13.37 horsepower. So 13.7, so dun po tayo nagkamali lang sa rounding off. Actually, hindi naman mali. Basta yan po, 13.37 horsepower and malapit na sa 13.7 horsepower. And that is now our final answer. Okay, so there.